Welcome to Investigating Homelessness in Shoshone County. I'm Barbara Pedersen, and today I am with Colleen Rossen, who is the Silver Valley Economic Director and Corporation here, and she has a lot of great information of what's going on in the valley, how to improve the economics of the valley. So I welcome you. Thank you. So how are you doing?
Doing well. Thank you for having me here today.
So go ahead and explain some of the stuff that the Economic Council is trying to do here in the valley.
Absolutely. So we're working on very foundational pieces. We're not a funding source, but we are a resource broker. So our intent is to be able to hook up the right people to create the right projects and complete the right initiatives. Part of what we're doing as a foundational piece is education on multiple levels from school age, grade school age up to college, and then adult education as well. And those kind of programs, what those do to help the people here to have a skill set for workforce, to develop workforce, which gives people jobs and the ability to be self-sustaining and have that piece of their life work out very well for them, as well as housing. We work with the Shoshone County Housing Board, and right now what we're looking at is new innovative ways to be able to help tackle the housing issue in Idaho in general, but especially in Shoshone County.
So what is the Idaho issue here that you see as the major issue here?
We have such a high influx of people moving in. We're one of the fastest growing states in the nation. We're having a very difficult time being able to keep up with housing in every level, and that's from South Idaho all the way up to the Canadian border. It's affordable housing is hard.
So what is considered affordable housing? And do you want to get into like who you're targeting, who's the target population for this?
So affordable housing should be 30% of your income. That really should be what your target is. And there's a bit of a disparity because when you have a place like Coeur d'Alene that is just our neighbor growing so fast that they have a $300,000 house to our $150,000 house, that creates an issue when our wage is $10 to $12 an hour and would need to be looking more like $15 to $18 an hour. And that's not how that works for our small companies. We have a lot of small mom and pop companies. That's really our bread and butter is entrepreneurs. And so what we're looking to do is help address that affordable housing for the workforce and keep it in that range where our companies pay.
Nice. So these projects are ongoing then?
Yes.
So I'm really interested in, does the Shoshone County see an issue with homelessness here in our valley?
It's not just perception value. This is not something that I have a lot of data on because it's not something that's in the forefront. What we are trying to address is really more the immediate problems of getting access to broadband and enticing companies to come in, helping with the living wage, helping with the housing. Perception-wise, there doesn't seem to be a big homeless population. However, personally, when I'm out hiking in the hills, you do run across the encampments where that's where they live. And so there is homelessness, and you do see it, but it's not prevalent here, like in a lot of places.
So what is the definition of homelessness?
Oh, there's a lot of levels.
A lot of levels of homelessness.
Yes, from completely being on the street and destitute to living in subpar. There have been some shacks that I would not even want to have my livestock live in,
right,
that people consider their homes, and that I consider a level of homelessness.
Okay, subpar, unsafe housing is a level. If you're staying in that shack, that's considered homelessness.
Yeah. My personal view.
Your personal view, okay. So the valley doesn't seem to think there's an issue, or, I was just kind of wondering, I know winter's almost over with right now, but, we don't have a shelter for homelessness. I don't know if there's a need for it. And I don't believe we have any more transitional housing that we used to have in the valley. And so I was wondering, are we just becoming better? Is our population going down? Or what's going on?
I feel like there's a move. When it gets cold and there's not, I mean, you will see people living in their cars and you see the car move around. So I feel that there is still homelessness that happens in Shoshone County. There are warming centers in Coeur d'Alene. The St. Vincent de Paul has warming centers.
Right.
And so I feel that there's a lot of movement towards that. Or, they're able to couch surf. There's people that will open up their homes to if they know somebody that's having some of these problems. So issue is, again, it's one of those relative terms. As far as, you're comparing to Spokane or Seattle or some of the bigger places, issue we do not have. However, per capita, there is still a homeless population here that is still, it's there.
So we're not looking at trying to get more low-income housing. I mean, do you feel there's a need for the low-income housing that you see like in Shoshone Apartments? We're trying to get more businesses and what do you call it? Workforce
housing.
Workforce
Yes.
housing.
Yeah. We have, when you look at the numbers, we have a lot of low-income apartments throughout the county, from Burke all the way to Pinehurst, I believe. And so I feel that we have, based on population, we have a really good representation for the low income, the subsidized housing. So what we need to do to be able to help some of the issues is create the ability for employers to want to set up shop here. And to be able to do that, we have to have places for employees to live, and we have to have workforce skills. And so we really tackle it from that, trying to grow the income where we're not exporting everything out, or where we're not importing everything in, where we are able to export and to be able to send it out and to be able to create jobs, raise wages, and that kind of foundation.
That sounds great. I love the idea of raising wages in the valley. And I love the idea that more people will be able to have jobs instead of just a few big employers, maybe, spread it out just a little bit. Do you have any surprises for us that you want to share?
Not yet, not anything that I can release, but we are working. There is one company that will be expanding this next year. Over the last year, they've already put in 23 jobs, and they'll be expanding another 8. And so those are the kind of things that we work on, that, the small, really good companies that people feel comfortable working for, because they have that. You're not a number, you're a person.
I love that.
And so when you have that feeling of belonging with a job, you work harder, your employer has the right mentality, because they're a small mom and pop, they're going to want to pay you more, even though they're not mandated to, which is the best possible scenario, is to say, I want to pay you more. And, it's easier to recover if that company does leave, when you're not putting all your eggs in one basket and you've got 50 really good 20-man companies rather than 200-man companies that when that goes, it just kills an area. We've already been through that, and we don't need that again.
Right. I love the idea. I can't wait to see who this brand new company is in the next year. So I do want to thank you for your time being here. Do you have anything else you would like to share or add before we sign off?
No, just anything you need, let me know.
All right. Thank you, guys. This is Colleen. If you have business growth, I believe you're the one that can help you with
starting, growing, or getting out of business successfully and making sure that it stays in business.
So there you go. So thank you.
Thank you.